Hi there, welcome to Blaze Themes video tutorial. In this video, I'll show you how to build a complete blog website using the Blog Post X Pro theme. If you're on the free version, you might notice that a few features are missing compared to what I'm showing here. Before we get started, let's set up our typography presets from the typography section. There are 3 predefined typography presets. Rename the first one to post title. Select Poppins as font family, set its font weight to semi-bold, font size to 18 pixels, line height to 23. We can add as many typography presets as we want by clicking on the Add New button. We can also remove the typography preset by clicking on the Bin button. Now then, let's set up the header using the header builder. Blog Post X comes with a full header builder where you can add different widgets like the primary menu, secondary menu, Instagram, and more. The default header looks like this. Let's customize it and add a few more sections so you can get familiar with the features. Click the settings for the third row and set the column count to 1. Move the primary menu from the second row to the third row and align it to the center. Remove all widgets from the first row and change the column count to 2. Just click on the first column, and you'll see a list of widgets. Select the date, time widget from there. I only want the date to be displayed, so I'll disable the time and the separator icon. For the second column, I want to add a secondary menu widget. In the Design tab, either change the typography settings manually or select a typography preset. I don't want any padding, so I'll set it to 0. I also don't want any background color, so I'll set it to transparent. It looks clean now, but we're still far from done. Next, let's add a border from the Design tab in the row settings. I want to add a solid border, applied only to the bottom of the row. For the border color, let's set it to a light gray. I will also slightly decrease the padding on the top and bottom. Also, set the alignment of the second column to the right. Now our header is really taking shape. Now let's customize the second row. I want 3 columns in this row. Place the social icons widget in the first column, the site logo and title widget in the second column, and the search widget along with the theme mode widget in the third column. Alignment is slightly off. Let's adjust it via Row Settings column tab. From the Design tab, let's add 45 pixels of padding to the top and 45 pixels to the bottom. I'll replace the text with my own logo by clicking the site logo and title widget and selecting my logo. I will also add a logo for dark mode. Let's see if the dark mode logo works. It does. Fantastic. Let's increase the logo size using the logo width option. Now that the custom logo is set, we can turn off the site title. Let's add a top border to the third row, similar to the first row. To match the primary and secondary menus, I'll apply the same typography preset, remove padding, and set the background to transparent. The third row needs more spacing, so let's add 20 pixels of padding to the top and bottom. Next, in the header builder settings, add a box shadow and set the background to white. With that, the header is complete. This looks far better than the default, definitely a full score for the header. Now let's set up sticky posts. The display in setting allows displaying them on the front page, the posts page, or both pages. The label can be changed if desired. Let's place this on the right, raise it vertically to sit just under the header, and tweak the horizontal position a bit. Reduce the posts to append to 2. Clicking the plus button will append a total of 2 posts to the sticky posts. Select the post categories to show. Total number of posts option determines how many posts are shown in sticky posts. Let's enable the ticker news section. I'll change the label to trending and turn off the show ticker icon option since I don't want any icons. The section has query, post elements, and marquee settings. I'll apply a gradient to the heading background by selecting a preset option in the heading background settings. Also, change the typography of the post title. Set border radius of the images to 6 pixels. Now, let's edit one of my favorite sections, the Web Stories section. There are options such as Display In, Section Label, Show View All Button, Button Label, and Close on Escape Button Press. Adjust the image size, modify the image ratio, and set border radius to 6 pixels. In the Design tab, we can adjust typography settings for the preview count, preview title, and post title. Another personal favorite of mine, let's go ahead and enable carousel. Let's switch from the default layout to layout 3. A lot of these options resemble the ones from the sections we went through before. However, I'll choose to display the author. Play around with the image ratio and border radius settings. Change the typography of the post title. With that, the carousel section is now complete. Next up is the video playlist section. I'll add the YouTube API key before enabling it. If you don't know how to get it, visit the link in the control description. Then, turn on this Show Video Playlist option. A total of 3 layouts are available, with layout 3 selected by default. I can sort the videos however I want and add as many videos as I like. Sections can be rearranged as well. I'll drag the video playlist section and position it beneath the latest posts. With the front page sections complete, it's time to explore the archive sections. Among the many archive layouts, I'll go with the grid layout, which I prefer. The layout currently has only 1 column, which isn't visually appealing. I'll set it to 2 columns, much improved. I'll select the left sidebar for now and revisit it later when we add some widgets. Center alignment would work well for this layout. There are a few reorder controls as well. I'll hide the comments for now. I'll apply a 2px solid border to the image, selecting the first color from the presets. Under the Design tab, set the border radius to 0. There are 2 typography controls available, one for the title and one for the excerpt. I'll choose Ajax Load More for pagination, as it allows loading more posts on button click without refreshing the page. Let's update the button hover text color to white and make a slight adjustment to the border radius. Navigate to the Widgets section, select the left sidebar, and add some of the theme's custom widgets. I'll start by adding the blog posts grid 2 column widget. I'll limit it to 4 posts and hide the Load More button. Next, I'll add the blog post list widget. For this widget, I'll also hide the Load More button and switch to layout 2. Next, I'll add the blog posts category collection widget and choose a few categories to display. Some parts of the sidebar can also be customized through the sidebar/widget style section. To make the sidebar sticky, I'll enable the sidebar sticky option. Increase both the border radius and image border radius by 3 pixels. And with that, the sidebar customization is complete too. Next is the You May Have Missed section, which is enabled by default. 2 layouts are available, and the number of columns can be set to either 2 or 3. I'm going to choose a single category whose posts will be shown in this section. Most of these options are familiar, but I'll turn on the date and center the alignment. Set the image ratio and border like in the archive, and this section is complete. Finally, there's the footer builder, which is similar to the header builder. First, we'll customize the first row, which I want to contain 3 columns. Place the logo widget in the first column, the secondary menu widget in the second, and the social icons widget in the third column. We can fix the alignments from the row settings as well. Since the social icons don't look quite right, I'll modify their design. To start, I'll turn on the Inherit Official Color option, turn off the label and activate the hover animation. Let's add another social icon. The logo looks too large, so I'll reduce its width a bit to make it smaller. I'll place the Sidebar 1 widget next to the logo widget as well. I'm adding a paragraph widget to this sidebar to provide some site details. Perfect, that looks good. I'll place the Instagram widget in the second row of the footer builder. Once it's added, 4 large boxes appear since no images have been selected yet. We'll add a few images to finish setting up this section. I have the option to add more images if I want to. The slider can be enabled as well, but I'll keep it disabled for now. I'll turn off the link URL to image option since I don't want my images linked. Apply the same image radius and border as used in the archive. We'll also update the theme color. I'll go with a shade of orange. Next, we'll go to the category color section. I'll update the typography of each category and modify the border radius too. I nearly forgot the advertisement section. I'll place an image in the first field to serve as the advertisement. That brings us to the end. Next, we'll publish our changes and see how everything looks on the front end. While we're at it, let's go over post formats as well. First, we'll edit a post. We'll set this post to the audio format by first adding the SoundCloud embed widget. Paste a SoundCloud audio link here, click embed, and the audio will appear. From the post tab, there's an option labeled format. There are 6 different types of post format: standard, audio, video, gallery, image and quote. For this post, we'll choose the audio format. Save the post and view it on the front end. And there it is. Looks great. Next, we'll add the remaining post formats. That concludes our discussion on post formats. Congratulations on successfully customizing your website with the blog posts theme. For any questions or support, visit blazethemes.com.